As we get busy searching for money to look after ourselves and offsprings, we should pay attention to the little things like how safe is the neighborhood we live in.
After some times, again, we received a report that the victim was taken to Mulago, where she was referred to Heart Institute. Then later on the 16th November, they said the victim passed on at 4 p.m. This made us to reverse our investigations to establish what treatment was the victim getting, and also to get the postmortem to guide us what was the cause of the death, which we have not yet got, but we have got the medical report for Namutebi, Amina, which has complication in medical terms, which we are shorting interpretation from a doctor, our police medical surgeon, to interpret to us in the simplest terms we can understand and the court of law can understand, so that we can prefer a possible charges than what we had charged the suspect, one Mafudo Basir, of indecent assaulting a female, contrary to section 128 subsection 1 of the Penal Code Act. Due to this allegation, which is more grave than the charge preferred against the suspect, we are holding the suspect so that we get a proper charge for him. Otherwise, we have fear that his life can easily be in danger if released to continue with the previous charge. Inquiries are still at hand, with the hope of concluding it as soon as possible, or as soon as we get medical interpretation and postmortem results.
As we had talked to Alicia earlier, and she told us on how APCAN chipped in to help her with the medical bills of the late Amina, we decided to pay APCAN a visit, and here we are with the Executive Director, Ansel Mwandega. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What is APCAN all about?
Yeah, APCAN is just an acronym, but in full it is Africa Network for the Prevention and Protection Against Child Abuse and Neglect. It is a child rights promotion and protection agency, which is part of the continental organization APCAN Africa, which is currently present in 26 African countries. Here in Uganda, we are currently operating in over 17 districts with offices in 11 districts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does APCAN deal in only children?
APCAN directly targets children, but it works with the caregivers, the family members, the parents, the guardians, the community members, and all other actors who have a stake in the rights of children.
Okay.
Yeah.
So break it down for me. How does APCAN really work?
Yeah, APCAN intervenes directly in children's cases, and these range from physical abuse, sexual abuse, and exploitation, and also emotional abuse. And we do intervene firstly to break the barriers that hinder access by these exploited or abused children to access the essential services they're supposed to access. And so we facilitate access to education for these who have been exploited and abused, access to medical care, access to justice, and other basic needs.
Now, in cases of children who are raped, or children who are attacked, or any family that has problems with their children, how can they get to you?
In the 17 districts, we have projects and also offices.
Yes.
It is easy. What they do, they can walk into the office.
Just like that?
Any time of between 8 and 5. And the officers have phone numbers which are displayed, and they can call them and they come in to support them. Okay. But especially those in school, we are operating what we call lettering boxes they can just write their issues and place them in those boxes. And our officers, they always go there on a weekly basis. They can go and pick those issues and get the issues and then follow up with the cases. And as I said, we also try to address the root causes of child abuse. And we know them very well. We'll do that, and probably in the next 5 years root out the problem. Or the worst, bring it to a certain level which is manageable. Yeah.
The kind of job you're doing is a sensitive job. All I can say is I pity you. At the same time, I applaud you. It's really a great job. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you for your time too.
Okay.
I'm here with Evelyn Mulumba, a counselor at AMCAN, who dealt directly with Amina's case. Welcome to the show, Evelyn.
Thank you, Zuena.
How did you find out about Amina's case?
A colleague of mine in Ginger had worked on the case before. That time when Amina was still in Ginger Referral Hospital. Okay. So then they got transferred. So when they were transferred here, he gave me a call because he wanted us here in Kampala to follow up.
What did you do? What was your first reaction when you found out about the case?
Of course, what I did, I had to follow up. I had to first call the mother, and then she led me to where they were. So when I reached Mulago, they were in Ward 11, in Old Mulago. So that day when I went, I was just checking on them. But that day when I reached Mulago, this lady was going to do a scan. And it so happened that day I had some money with me because she told me her scan had been subsidized to 80,000. Because initially she would have paid like she told me it was like they first asked 160 and then she told her I didn't have it. So they told her, okay, you come up with 80,000. So that day when I came, I went to see them, she only had 40.
Wow.
And we were lucky enough, I also had some money.
Some money with you. So
we were able to top up and I escorted them to their scan. I let her go in. I sat at the waiting space. But she came out so quickly, and I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, the doctors have said we'll come back when? The next day. So still I had to escort her as she carried Amina at the back. I spent some other minutes there as I talked to Amina. By that time Amina was really, you would see pain because she could not even sit by herself. The mother would just support her to do what? To sit. Yes.
When you met her, did you try asking her what exactly happened to her?
Yes, I talked to the mother, of course, because I wanted to obtain details of this whole story.
While she was at Mulago, did Amina say anything to you?
Yeah, because that time when I met them, they spent 2 weeks in admit. For me, I visited for a period of 2 weeks before even, yeah. So I'd talked to Amina like 3 times. She would tell me, you know, this man came, got me, put me, I was bathing, then she came, held her mouth, and then took me aside and slept on me.
Oh dear. So as you being a representative of APCAN, what did you do to them?
Of course, normally, in such a case, for me at that time, because we had liaised with our Ginger office, and Ginger office had been tasked to follow up the legal bit to ensure that this suspect is in what? Is in police.
Custody, yes.
And that time when this girl was here, Ginger office, because remember, when the man was first arrested, he was released. Then Ginger office follows up. He gets back in what? In custody, Ginger CPS. So that assurance that this suspect was Ginger office, I mean by Ginger office that the suspect was in custody, that was at least assurance enough. And however, on this side, we as people who are following up now this girl in Mulago, our assurance was in seeing this girl get what?
Better.
Get better.
Yeah. When you left the mother and you got a call saying Amina had passed on, how did you feel?
Okay, for me, I'd gotten used to these people because
they were like family now.
They had become like family.
Yeah.
At least every day, I would either visit or make a phone call. So as I picked, I didn't know that she was even the one calling the mother. So I picked, and she's like, your friend has died. When she told me AMINA'S died, it really hit me. Yeah? Because now I was used to her, I was, you know, I still had hope that she would still be well. She would even still be well to even, you know, witness, yeah, against this man.
I think that's the most important.
That was for me the most important. And when this woman tells me that girl has died, it really hit me.
I know. As AMCAN, do you follow up cases of lost patients? Like if you lose a patient, do you keep helping the parents of that patient?
AMCAN has a wide range of services. And one of them is the psychosocial support.
Exactly.
And okay, under psychosocial we do so many things, but one of them is the counseling, you know. So because now you realize that in such a time like that, this family needs
people around them.
And normally the families that we've worked with, especially in these cases of defilement, it is mainly the families are alone, because sometimes it's a relative, sometimes it's disrespected person in the community, so like the families are really isolated. But even when you say you close the case, these people become part of you. You keep on calling, how are you? So
I know.
It depends.
It's just like life stories. The people we talk to, we keep calling and finding out how they are, how far they've gone.
But then with this case, of course, we still have the legal aspect. Because actually today I felt like our lawyer would be here. Because one of the things that we are going to do, I know there are these things that there is no evidence. That is their talk. But at least, because normally many times we also as counselors, we write reports. When I go and talk to my clients, I'll make notes. And I've seen it happen so many times when the court will ask for these things. We as AMCAN will do our part, and we let the law take its its course.
Achali muto nga nyizo ngamba nti tomanya ayizo kusoma n'abeera kino naye omusajja omukulu atusisa ku ekyo omwana wange atayinaamu nekyo ayinza ngamba nti gyakolako oba kalimu we kati kayinza okuba nga kaweereza gavumenti neefuna mu kintu we kiti nti akwata abakazi kuno akwata kazi naye nennyina yayimirira ku radio n'agamba nti omwana wange akwata abakazi bakulu takwata abaana bato.
Ekyo kiraga nti n'omwana omuto asobola omukwata.
Asobola kuba omukulu kulo yamubula. N'akwata omwana omuto. Ate enjaye kyemutuma ssaawa eyo talina okukola. Ye tasobola kubuulira mwana we nti tasobola kukola kintu ekyo.
Ate tatambula naye.
Ampalana.
Mbugwa muwalana.
Nze muwalana mbulwa kibanja. Nze mpeewumuyo omwana wange bagisale olw'okuba njagala bya bugagga. Nze waffe ettaka lyeri ddene nnyo. Gasobola kugira mwana wange muteeka mu ebyo bintu kirwa kwanjagala bugagga wanjagala ttaka.
Walipotinga n'obagamba bano abakujinja poliisi n'abagamba nti omwana afudde. Wabagamba?
Iya, buli kimu era nti ne kagundi ke baatuwa ng'omwana yabise twaka batwalira buli omu yakafunako kopi ng'omwana yayabika. Naye oluvannyuma ate baŋŋamba kwegamba baddokita bali kye bakola. Si kugamba nti ono alabika omukazi abawamu. Naye bo kati bali kufiirira dokita munnaabwe oli. Kuba kati baatuwa akagundi akatufulumya eddwaliro. Nga kituufu omwana ayabise. Omanyire death certificate baginnyima.
Paka
nakati baginnyima nagendayo ne baginnyima. Ne police pote mbwegute bwe guli.
Naye waliwo report gye ndabye emu ku zino eraga nti omwana baamukwata.
Iya, byonna biraga nti baamukwata.
Kati bw'oba ng'olina proof bweti bapoliisi baba balinda ki?
Temanyi kye baliko okujjako ng'angamba nti bali kutya mukazi oli kubeefuulira nti baali obukadde obusatu. Kuba musajja mwennyini teri mutamiivu abagambwa. N'agenda ne kuredi yeemu era n'abyogererayo n'avuma abaaliyo era n'abagamba n'obagamba yakakwata. bamukole kibagala kuba yalina support okuva ku police amanyi tebayinza kumukolako kintu kyonna kyonna.
Kati taata w'omwana ye yawulira atya bwe yamanya nti omwana afudde?
Yawulira bubi naye ye byabitwala mpola.
Kati bano abaana balala bo baliwa?
Abe waffe bagenda nabo.
Batwala abaana?
Babatwala kuba kakati na wano ntya kuba kati omusajja muyaga. Wali wabwe waliwo kibanda ky'abayaga.
Weerozezzaako okusenguka wano? Engeri gye wali nti tewali safe.
Sirina ssente. Obusente bwe nali nkozesa bwagenda ku mwana. Jjukira nene ebirowoozo byange banka emmanja. Kati sijakola mbeera wano. Abasawo bambi mutufengako omuntu bajjanga alina ye kyeyeewulira nti kyekimuluma ky'oba osooka okukolako okyetegerezo kyekkaanye olyoka okole gwe ku kyolowooza kuba singa baali bakoleddewo ku kyembagamba teyali tusengejja omwezi gubadde munene kano ke kaseera gavumenti okulaba abantu baayo beekola nabo emirimu. Neebaza nnyo ababukani Uganda banyamba. Waliwo ekitongole ekiraba kyekipya ekyanyambako naye nkyerabiranga erinnya. Neebaza MP wange Honorable Agnes mwebaza nnyo.
Violence against children is a destruction of humanity. For a better day, a peaceful world, keep an eye out and put a stop to violence against children.